Hi, welcome to the Commercial Gas Engineer channel. Gonna talk about domestic and commercial boilers. Which is your favorite boiler or manufacturer? For me, for a domestic boiler, this Valent Ecotech stands alone for me. Maybe I'm not right and other boilers are better. I haven't put boilers through the test to see how much liters per minute of hot water they can produce, what the cost of replacement for parts are, and so on. That I think that would be a really good test to see, how good a boiler is. How quick can you change certain parts in the boiler compared to other manufacturers' boilers and so on. But sometimes boilers get their name just by reputation, by people saying this is the best one, get it, and so on. Let me start with some negatives about this boiler. The price, that's one negative. Another thing is the control knobs at the front. They can break quite easy. If they're made of plastic, they're gonna break more easily. So I think I carry spare on mine, even though I hardly ever work on Valent Ecotechs anymore. I carry some spare bits. The pressure sensor tends to get blocked and can confuse many engineers who think it's the pump or low pressure or the PCB even, but it could be actually a dirty pressure sensor. You have to also replace the grommets, or make sure that the grommets are there where the wiring goes in. On the bottom left, I can't remember if there are any on the right hand side, but I can be sure that on the left hand side there's usually orange grommets that need to be there to make sure that the boiler's case is fully sealed. You have to also remember that the self-tapping screws at the top around the flue. What else? This air intake tube can also get can get melted if the seals on the burner are not replaced within every 5 years or so. They can start to melt the air intake. So that is a problem with this, but they should be checked. That seal should be checked to make sure that it's not penetrated. Other negatives on this boiler, I can't think of much else. They used to have on the flow and return, used to have these rubber tubes. There's probably some still around. I don't think they make them like that on the newer models, but there's maybe some still left. Sometimes you could squeeze them and get rid of the muck inside there, but ideally their best need, especially if they're replaced. So that was a bit of a negative on them, the rubber tube on the flow and return. I wonder if you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you're not. But other things as well, I've had problems with the gauge, the capillary copper tube that comes from the gauge. Twice they have set me up where I've opened up a case and they just start spraying because they were caught in the boiler's case, and it was when I opened it up it decided to spray out on me because the case was just holding it together because it had crimped on the case. So that is a problem if it's not being wound round in the right place and left in the right place. And I've also closed the case on one of them before, and you just have to go and replace it straight away. You can crimp up the capillary copper tube from it until you get a replacement, but I was held to ransom and had to just go and sort it out there and then. So that's a problem for me on these. Anything else? That's all I can criticize this boiler about for now. The case comes off quite easily. They have a screw at the bottom and then the two little clips. It comes off easily. I don't know if you ever come across any boilers before where you're trying to work out how on earth to get the case off. I have. I've had somewhere 5 minutes or so. I'm scratching my head trying to work out how to get the case off the boiler. Or getting the case off and getting it back on is a nightmare or a job in itself. Whereas the case on this boiler is very easy. Very good case. What else is there on it? I think that's about it with this. Positives now. You can use a 15mm copper tube on this model. I don't know what size you can use the 15mm gas connection up to, what kilowatt, but that is quite ideal. That some boilers of the around about the same kilowatt rating need 22mm supply. Also, you have to check to see how when you do get to the 15mm, obviously do your pipe sizing to ensure that the pipe sizing is correct for the amount of gas that needs to go to the boiler, the supply. So look into that first. But ideally, it's nice that you can go in on these on a 15mm. So that's nice. Also, that you can actually get to the plate heat exchanger and change it easily. Also, that the expansion vessel on the right hand side is easy to get to, and the PRV on the right hand side is also easy to get to. Some boilers, as you know, the expansion vessel is behind the boiler and you have to take it off the wall to get to it. Or the plate heat exchanger, you need to cut a pipe like the hot water, or I think it's the hot water pipe, in order to get the plate heat exchanger out. Some also, you have to take the boiler off the wall to get to the PRV, not with this boiler. So that's what I like about it. The PCB is quite easy to change. It's not too difficult. What else is there on there? Yeah, the connection for the room thermostat is easy. What else good does this boiler have? I think it's a good boiler. I like it. There may be a better boiler out there than this, but for me, if I had to fix these all day long, it wouldn't be a problem for me. I'd happily work on them with my eyes closed. Let me know what you think about this boiler, or what do you think is a good rival and why. Okay, I'm looking to make one on a commercial boiler pretty soon, so watch out for that one. Thank you for your time. Please leave comments below. Until next time, bye.